What's going on, guys? It's Michael MGF, and today I'm going to be doing a super last minute analysis video on the DC Superheroes 2016 Batman vs Superman Dawn of Justice sets. And I say super last minute because these sets are already slowly rolling out just before the huge January 1st mountain of sets annual release that the LEGO Group always does. And these sets, of course, being a part of that. I already found the Batmobile at Target, and I'm going to be reviewing it pretty soon. And it might even be my next video, but I haven't had any luck finding the Batwing set, you know, the Heroes of Justice Sky High Battle or the Clash of Heroes set, so I figure if I don't know when I'm going to be getting those other two sets between now and January 1st, I might as well just quickly share my thoughts and opinions, because I know there are a lot of you guys out there who still wanted me to do this analysis video regardless of how late it might have been. So yeah, I've waited a really long time. I think we all have waited a really long time to see what the Batman vs Superman sets were going to look like, because this is definitely one of the most anticipated movies of 2016. We've all been waiting for it ever since it was announced back in 2013, and to finally see these sets, you know, just actually seeing what the LEGO Group has done for the film, it's really exciting. But they do come with a decent amount of problems, which I do want to address. Even though the sets overall as a whole I think are really awesome, it's just as I just said, there are definitely a few things I want to point out that I think could have been changed or could have been fixed before the sets actually were put into production. I don't know, maybe it's just me, we'll see though. Anyway, let's get started. Alright, so starting off with the Kryptonite Interception, because again, this is the set that I already have, and I, you know, don't really want to spend too much time on a set that I'm about to review, but I'll tell you right now, the Batmobile is fantastic. Ever since it was revealed last year at San Diego Comic-Con, I just have been so excited to see what it was going to be like. Actually, that was this year, never mind. Anyway, the Batmobile is designed by Marcus Besa. My friends and I got to meet him at Brickfield, Virginia 2015. He was telling us about how this, you know, what the set could look like or what it was going to look like, and it definitely, I would say, lived up to expectations. And thankfully he gave us a fair warning that in this set with the Batmobile there was gonna be an extra build with like another couple of figures, and he said don't expect much, and I'm really glad he gave us that warning, because it's like now seeing this set I can totally see why, because in this set we were expecting that with the Batmobile, like it was gonna be another Wonder Woman figure and maybe even Doomsday, as we just saw him revealed in the trailer, and it's just sadly, it's exactly what it says, Kryptonite Interception, just a bunch of LexCorp henchmen going up against, a couple of them going up against Batman in his new Batmobile, and you can assume from this scenario that maybe this is what happens in the film. It's possible that maybe Batman, you know, steals Kryptonite from LexCorp to lace his armored suit with it to go up against Superman. I don't know, I'm just speculating, but that's what I would take away from it. Anyway, yeah, so the Batmobile is fantastic. As I said, I have it in person. It has a great amount of playability features, and the entire like cockpit piece opens up in two separate pieces, which is really awesome, and it has a couple of stud shooters on the front, the wheels being fully functioning of course as well, a bunch of different flaps on this thing to really nail the shape of this new Zack Snyder Batmobile. And also the forklift, while not that exciting, you'll notice that it does carry the Kryptonite on like the little platform that can actually rise up and down. It does have some flick fire missiles on it, the wheels again fully functioning, of course they would be, and what's kind of a problem though is those little glass pieces you see on top of the Kryptonite, they're not attached to anything. They fall right off, and it's really aggravating. But yeah, anyway, one of the henchmen does have a like stud shooter rifle, which is pretty cool for playability. The other one doesn't, of course, because he is the driver. And small note, before I do end off this segment, I should point out, or actually I'm not going to end it off because I still have to talk about Batman, don't I? Anyway, yeah, so one of the henchmen does actually have the Vincent D'Onofrio head from the Jurassic World sets, which is kind of interesting, definitely an interesting choice. They are already rehashing heads from the Jurassic World sets, but yeah, I noticed that. And also, I should point out Batman. This is where I was really kind of disappointed, because it's like this is Batman versus Superman Dawn of Justice, basically the starting point for the new DC cinematic universe, and this is the Batman figure we get. And I know a lot of you guys are actually pretty fond of it, and that's great. That's awesome. It's just, I feel like there could have been something else done, and I do have the minifigure, as I've said in this video. I have the set, and the torso is fantastic. I absolutely love the torso. The design is awesome, and the pattern on it is great, and the gold belt is not nearly as bright as I thought it was going to be. In person, the torso is much better than it looked in the pictures, and also, while it is nice to get the black overmolded boots continuing onto this figure, it's just kind of unfortunate that there's no continuation of the pattern we see on the torso, and it looks really inconsistent confusing because on the torso design you have this really awesome pattern, and then it just cuts off on his legs and on his arms. And while I understand it would have looked awkward if it was printed onto the overmolded legs and printed onto the arms. It's just kind of unfortunate that it maybe wasn't possible. And while, you know, I totally understand why it probably wasn't possible, it just still is unfortunate at the end of the day. And also, the cowl is not exactly Ben Affleck's cowl, but it is close enough, so at the end of the day, you can understand why LEGO Group would not have gone out of their way to make an entirely new one. But what really sucks, I think, about this minifigure, and what I really don't think is understandable, is the head, why they couldn't do some kind of new print, because in the movie, it is very distinct that the straight-up white eyes, the straight-up glowing eyes, belongs to the armored suit. And with the set, you have the glowing white eyes, but on his regular suit. I feel like because this is the movie version, LEGO should have finally embraced maybe trying to print some eyes, some actual eyes under that cowl, you know, where you're going to see it once you put the cowl on, rather than just having them on there and then the white headband like we usually have on Batman figures. I was hoping they would have done something different. But anyway, and I should say right now as well, the tanned skin tone color, that the problem that has been, you know, with the Batman minifigures ever since the start of the year, that's not going away anytime soon, and it definitely has not with these sets. So yeah, I said I was gonna not spend a lot of time on this set, but I guess a 5-minute analysis of the set in comparison to what the video will probably be, around like 15-20 minutes or something, I guess that's not that bad, right? Next up, we have the Clash of Heroes set, which honestly is hands down the most disappointing set out of all three of these. And I say that because when I first heard about this set, I heard the rumors. I heard that there was going to be a small build. There was going to be, you know, the armored suit Batman and Superman. You're going to have all of this in a small $10 to $13 set. Great, awesome, looking forward to it. And then I saw these pictures, and what we're presented with here is a build that looks like I don't even know what, and an armored suit that is like pretty much the furthest thing from accuracy. And I know, you know, the LEGO Group was able to, you know, come up with a minifigure with the armored suit, and they were able to cut some corners in a, I guess you could say, a really efficient way that obviously kids won't notice. You know, kids are not going to care if the cowl has longer ears or if the chest isn't shaped correctly. But I mean, coming from the minifigure customizer, coming from me, I notice these things right away, and they bother me, and that's just me. And I know a lot of you guys are actually kind of okay with it, but it's just personally, I'm not. We'll talk about that in a minute, but the build. It's like, while I understand making a chunk of the rooftop from this iconic scene that's going to be in the movie that we're all excited about, you know, opens up opportunity for some playability features, if I were a kid, I would have been much more excited over a fully built bat signal rather than a chunk of a rooftop with only a small portion of a bat signal. I don't know. It's just, I'm not sure if you guys agree, but I just feel like an entire bat signal with playability features, maybe put some flick fire missiles on the sides, what have you, would have been great. But instead, we get this little chunk of a rooftop with part of the bat signal, with this really awesome new piece for the bat signal, with this awesome print on it that just, I don't think is utilized correctly at all, and it's just really disappointing. And also there's like this weird turret thing on the bottom of this gate which uses some lightsaber hilts, and I don't know if Batman will actually have a turret to go up against Superman with in the film. We'll find out. No idea what the trans orange pieces are about, the trans orange antennas. I honestly have nothing to say, I guess, other than I guess you could assume they are maybe meant to look like Superman's heat vision, maybe. Anyway, the kryptonite in this set is pretty much right in your face. You know, you have Batman with the stud shooter. He's got the green studs, and obviously it's a kryptonite weapon. We have no idea if he's actually going to have a gun like that in the movie. I think the battle would definitely be over pretty quick if he did, though. Regardless, there is a little chunk of kryptonite on this little rooftop piece, and you can see there's a little green crate for you to store it in. But what is definitely, I think, honestly, the strongest point in this set, we have a new grapple gun piece, and that looks awesome. Absolutely love that. Can't wait to equip that on the actual minifigure itself. But then you can see there's a little knob on the back of this little rooftop piece. No idea what that is supposed to do, other than maybe launch Batman by use of the bat signal. Maybe that's a possibility. I can't really see. And again, I don't actually have this set or the other one, the Batwing set, that I'm going to talk about in just a minute. But we're going to go ahead and move on to the minifigures, and you'll notice, by the way, that this is the only set out of all 3 Dawn of Justice sets that has a super jumper. It's almost like the LEGO Group is really phasing out the super jumpers already, and honestly, if that's the case, I say thank God, because they're awful. They ruin minifigures' legs, and they're just not that effective. I was never fond of them to begin with, and hopefully seeing less and less of them like this means they're not going to last forever, and they're going to be gone before we know it. Hopefully. Anyway, the armored suit. Okay, I was hoping, this is just what I was hoping. I was hoping we were going to have a couple of new Batman cowls for the Dawn of Justice sets because of how big and how important this movie is to everyone. But we didn't get either, and it's like I was hoping if they were going to go with the regular short-eared cowl for the regular Batsuit, I thought, okay, that's fine. But let's hope that we'll at least get a new cowl for the armored suit, because the one that they would go with, the ears are too long. But they did it anyway, and I mean, well, yes, it's in a new color. It's just like, really, LEGO. I feel like if it would have been really necessary to have a new cowl with, you know, just to look a little bit different, to make it more unique for these sets. But it's like, I know kids won't care. You know, this is a detail that really won't matter. You know, unlike the bat signal, I know as a kid, this is something I really wouldn't have cared about. But it's just, you know, as the minifigure customizer I am today, it's disappointing. So anyway, the armor itself, the actual chest piece that goes over the minifigure is in a new color, but we've seen it before in the collectible minifigure series, I don't even remember what. And it's like, that's not accurate in any way whatsoever, and it looks really, really awkward, because that's not what his armor looks like in the film. And it's like, well, that's great that, you know, on the back of it you can attach a couple of you know, batarangs. You really can't say that looks accurate in any way whatsoever, other than it's just the armored suit. You know, it's got the armor, it's just, I don't know, man. It doesn't work for me. And what's really great about the minifigure, though, you can see underneath that chest piece, you have one hell of a printed torso. And while in the movie there is really there's no printed, you know, there's no bat signal or bat logo, rather, printed onto the chest of the armored suit, it is still a nice little addition, and at least it looks better if you pull the entire chest piece off and you still have a fairly decent looking bat, you know, armored bat suit. And it's just, yeah, I feel like this minifigure, if you take the chest piece off, definitely has a chance at still being something. But, I mean, even with that leg printing as well, I'm just not fond of the minifigure. And I don't know if you guys agree, but if you don't, that's fine. I'm going to be taking a completely different route with the minifigure that I'm planning, you know, my armored suit that I'm planning for my Dawn of Justice showcase that I'll be doing in March. But then we have Superman in this set as well. Pretty much the same minifigure from the Man of Steel sets, except he does have a new torso print and a new hairpiece, and of course, you know, with the addition of the new capes, but in red. And that torso is awesome. I'm glad they added more blue to it, because Henry Cavill's Superman suit in the movie does have more blue. That's great. It's just, I am not fond of the hairpiece. And you can tell that the LEGO Group is already going to be abusing this new hairpiece into the foreseeable future, because we already see it being used on Captain America in one of the new Civil War sets coming out. And it's like they already have this hairpiece being rehashed before it's already making its debut with Superman here. And because it's making its debut with Superman, you would think that it would be a little bit closer to Henry Cavill's hairstyle in the movie. Now, this can all harken back to the concept art problem. The LEGO Group, they receive concept art for these movies that are coming out, and sometimes it's before the movies are filmed. Sometimes, you know, things could drastically change, but these sets they're designed and are put into production a year in advance. So, I mean, maybe in concept art, maybe the chest piece looked more like that on the armored suit, and LEGO was like, oh, we can use that. Or maybe the ears were longer on the armored suit, and they were like, okay, we'll do that. But Superman, I don't know, man. I don't remember ever seeing any concept art or ever seeing any hint that his hairstyle would look like this. And while I am really glad there is a new hairpiece, because I will say it does open up a lot of opportunity for a lot of different possibilities on a lot of different minifigures, it's just not Henry Cavill's hairstyle in the movie. And again, I'm not sure if that's because the concept art the LEGO Group was given was you know, outdated, or maybe it's just, I don't know, man. It's just awkward that we have this really great new hairpiece that looks nothing like his hairstyle in the movie. I don't know, maybe with a little bit of sanding that can be fixed. Anyway, I've been talking about this set for 8 minutes. We're going to go ahead and move on to the final and the largest set of the 3 Batman vs. Superman Dawn of Justice sets. Finally, we have the best set out of all three of the Dawn of Justice sets, the Heroes of Justice Sky Battle, this one having the new Batwing. And I say the best because while yes, that Batmobile is awesome, there's no denying how great it is in this set that you get the entire Trinity, that amazing new Wonder Woman minifigure, and the entire Batmobile, which actually looks pretty awesome. This set is definitely where it's at. I feel like you can buy this set, and unless you really want the Batmobile, you can skip out on the other two, because this set has it all, because not only does it have the Trinity and the Batmobile, did I say Batmobile? Batwing. It has Lex Luthor and Lois Lane as well. It's all in this set, and that's great, because usually LEGO doesn't do that. And yeah, so I mean, we don't have this set. I know there are a few people who do, and maybe they've posted some better pictures of the set. Basing this off of what I can see from the box art and what we can infer from this, you'll notice that the entire set is great, except the helicopter is a little awkward, because you'll notice in the trailer where Lex Luthor clearly has captured Lois Lane, you'll notice that they're kind of on a rooftop, so maybe there is actually a helicopter involved. I'm sure the one that Lex Luthor will not be flying, but I mean, at least this is not like Iron Man 3. There probably is a helicopter in the movie, at least. I mean, in those sets, though, in the actual movie, there was a helicopter in Iron Man 3, but that's not the point. The point is, what's in this set probably is in the movie, and so that's good. Anyway, the Wonder Woman minifigure, we have to talk about this minifigure. Oh my god, this is like everything I wanted this Wonder Woman minifigure to be. It has amazing torso printing, it has fantastic leg printing, it has this new shield. It's not a new piece, it's just the Captain America shield in silver or gray or whatever color that is, but with a new print on it, which looks amazing. She has a standard sword, which from like the Lord of the Rings sets, and that's fine. She has the freaking gauntlets printed onto her arms. She has an entirely new hairpiece, which is made of rubber, but that's fine. I can paint over that texture. And she has this entire new face as well, which I definitely think is close enough to Gal Gadot's, likeness, that I think this minifigure is hands down the best minifigure, without a doubt, out of every freaking minifigure in this entire wave of sets. This looks amazing, and this is, I think, the minifigure I am most excited for out of pretty much all of the superhero sets coming out in January. So Superman is the exact same in this set. He is the exact same, Batman is the exact same as well. And also, you'll notice that Superman, he appears to have the overmolded boots in this set, while in the Clash of Heroes, he does not. And I think that that's definitely kind of strange, because I didn't mention it in the last segment because I was already talking about that set for way too long, but it's really strange how in this set he has the overmolded red boots, which look great on him, but then in the other set he doesn't. And I don't know why, but that's a thing apparently, and it's really inconsistent and really awkward. But anyway, the Lois Lane minifigure, it looks better than she did in the 2013 sets. We can't see her all that well, but it appears as though they did get rid of the cheekbone marks. Hopefully, again, I really can't see. These pictures aren't that great, but you can kind of see that the cheek marks appear to be, taken off. And also the black jacket design, that looks nice as well. Lex Luthor is definitely the minifigure that looks a little disappointing in this set, because you look at him, and while the outfit, I guess, is fine, I'm sure he's probably going to wear an outfit like that in the movie, and the hairpiece is what you would have assumed LEGO was going to use. Really? They had to use the face that we've seen in God knows how many sets, which has now become just like your stereotypical infantry face that's just thrown on like any minifigure LEGO can put it on. And they put that on Jesse Eisenberg's minifig, and that kind of sucks because it looks nothing like him. It makes him look way older than he actually is, and I'm just like, really? They gave us this really fantastic Wonder Woman minifigure, this really awesome Lois Lane minifigure. I'll definitely be painting my own to get closer to Jesse Eisenberg's likeness. The helicopter looks pretty basic. We've all seen helicopters like this. The propellers, they all spin. The actual helicopter piece flips up. There are flick fire missiles on both sides. There are LexCorp stickers. I mean, that's all there. But then the Batwing itself looks amazing, and it has again a unique cockpit piece. It has that stud shooter piece that shoots 6 at once if you spin the whole thing everything, and that's really awesome. You know, you really can't say a lot about playability for this set because you really can't see a lot based on the box art, but again, I know there are a few people out there who already have this set that maybe, you know, it'll be much more revealing in their videos or their photos, but again, based on this box art and what we can see, I really can't say a lot about the Batwing other than the design. They definitely nailed the look and the shape of the whole thing and the way, you know, the wings and everything looks on the newly designed Batwing in the film. And you know, again, the stud shooters are there, the cockpit opens, you can put Batman inside, but other than that, you really can't see anything else. There's really nothing else for me to comment on, so that's pretty much going to do it for this entire analysis video. And yeah, guys, I know this video may, you know, stir up some controversy down in the comments. A lot of you guys may think I might be going on too long, or I'm nitpicking where nitpicking is not due. But I mean, looking at these sets, this is what I see, and this is what I wanted to talk about. So yeah, with that said though, we're going to go ahead and wrap up this video. Alright guys, and there you go, my analysis on the 3 Batman vs. Superman Dawn of Justice sets that are coming out January 1st, and if you enjoyed this video though, or maybe found it informative, or if it helped you in planning which sets you plan on picking up on January 1st, definitely let me know by dropping this video a like below, and or your opinion on anything I said in this video down in the comments, or if I missed anything, if I made any mistakes, if you know something I don't, that would also be appreciated, because guys, we are here to discuss these sets, and I know you probably don't agree with everything I said in this video, but that's fine. But coming from the minifigure customizer, I found, you know, the Batmobile and the Batwing and the Wonder Woman minifigure would be great, but then the rest of it either not that exciting or just flawed. And I mean, that's just how I see it, and maybe you don't agree, and that's why, guys, again, this is a discussion video. So yeah, you can also follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. By the way, links to all 3 of those is always down in the description below. And guys, I'm going to be doing a lot, you know, to wrap up this year. I'm going to have a big Christmas video coming. I'm going to have a big end of the year 2015 wrap-up edit. I already have my hands on the Resistance Trooper Battle Pack from The Force Awakens. So I mean, I'm going to be reviewing that pretty soon, along with the Batmobile, which again, I already have. And also, I do have the Iron Skull Sub-Attack. So I do have 3 of the 2016 sets that I will be reviewing, and those will probably bleed over into 2016, because like I said, the Christmas video, the New Year's video, and you know, all the different things I'm working on may or may not allow for me to be able to actually do all of that before the year ends. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. I'm going to get back to work on my Dawn of Justice minifigures, because I actually started on Batman like last night, and I'm also going to be getting back to work on Zoom from The Flash and Deadpool and so many other cool things I'll be kicking off 2016 with. So yeah, I'm going to go, because this has been a lot of recording, and now I gotta start editing this whole thing, and that's gonna be time consuming, so I'm gonna stop talking, and I'll catch you guys later. Alright, bye! These sets, gosh damn it, plan on picking up when these sets come out on January 1st, definitely, and you can definitely keep up with it down in